Okay, this is my third attempt at doing this, but Summer Game Fest Xbox Game Showcase. Like before we begin, I will say, I'm pretty sure a lot of people watch this stream for one game in particular, but we're gonna talk about it once we get there. But in the meantime, let's go through the entire stream from the top. And the stream started with The Outer Worlds 2, and which also had a direct, and yes, they actually called it a direct. It's not something that I came up with. A direct focused on the game after the main stream was over. And there's pretty much then. Actually, it's been a very good while since I've heard of The Outer Worlds 2 personally. So yeah, I guess this came out as a bit of a surprise to me at least. And also, little side note, this thing is going to be this stream was all about sequels. And speaking of, the next game is High on Life 2. And the only thing I'm pretty sure of this game is that the creator of Rick and Morty is going to have zero involvement in this because of what happened to him. Then we got yet another sequel in Resonance, A Plague Tale, and I don't remember which was the last word of the title. I wrote game, but I'm pretty sure it's not game. But yeah, basically now we're going from medieval times France in the plague and the... Okay, no, during the plague times, because I want to say something else, but I don't want to sound like a dumbass that doesn't know history, so I'll leave it at that. To Egypt in Roman times. So yeah, that's a bit of a whiplash if you ask me. But anyway, then we got the Xbox, the ROG Xbox Ally, which is basically the Xbox answer to the Steam Deck, of course the Switch, and the thing that Sony also has, which I forgot the name of. But yeah, then we got the Blood of Dawnwalker, which not gonna lie, this game looks pretty mediocre. I mean, it just feels well, I'm not gonna say AAA slot, but it feels really really mediocre. And next up we got a game that I'm pretty sure a lot of you even forgot even existed. Super Meat Boy 3D. Yeah, I have no words. I also have no words for this because of all the things to bring back from the 2010s, from the early 2010s, fucking Super Meat Boy. Okay, yeah. But I'm not saying, for the record, I'm not saying that the game is bad. It's just that this is just so out of left field. But then anyway, then we got Ninja Gaiden 4, a brand new Ninja Gaiden game. I guess those remasters were leading up to something, unless this was teased a little while ago, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't, or at least if it wasn't, I don't remember. Then we got a DLC, the Order Giants for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and apparently in this DLC we are going to Turkey to find something for the Vatican. So yeah, and I'll be honest here, I didn't play Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. My sister did, and she hated it. So yeah, there's that. Then we got Beast of Reincarnation, the game made by Game Freak, the famous game made by Game Freak that wasn't Pokemon, and I will refrain from making graphics jokes because it's like the easiest thing in the world. But yeah, of course I'm not gonna care for it. But I'm not going to. I really don't care about this game, so it's a whatever for me. But still, finally we see the game made by Game Freak. I'm pretty sure this thing was teased for like a very very long time. And next up is a game that, at least to me, looks a little bit more interesting. That being Clockwork Revolution. Apart from the fact that this game is British as fuck. Honestly, this game looks to be pretty good. Then the game comes out and it's like a 7 out of 10, super forgettable game. But right now, at least in trailers, it looks pretty interesting. It looks pretty fun. But then, of course, we will see once it releases. And then, speaking of games speaking of sequels and games that come completely out of left field, Grounded 2. Yeah, this game got a, everyone might know this game got a sequel, because I'm pretty sure the first game was super forgettable. It was largely forgotten, and I'm surprised that it sold this well to actually warrant itself a sequel. Then again, I could say the same thing for. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna ask the same question that I asked in the SGF video. What kind of where did they get the money to make this game? What devil did the developers sell their souls to get the money to make Grounded 2? I mean, the devil is called Microsoft, but that's besides the point. But anyway, then we got Chronos: The New Dawn, which, in my note, I wrote the Callisto Protocol 2 in the sense of this game is very Dead Space-like. This game is trying to take the void left by Dead Space that, as we all know, the Callisto Protocol failed to fail. And honestly, this maybe I'll be wrong, like I'm wrong for a lot of things, myself included. But I doubt this actually. But I really think this is going to be yet another Callisto Protocol situation where they try hard and then flops like a flounder fish. But although this time they don't have the remake of Dead Space 2 to actually make them that all for the complete waste of time. So at least there's that. Then we got expansion for the Elder Scrolls Online called Season of the Worm Cult, and I know I should say this, but am I the only one to actually look at that little tiger, little lion, whatever I think it was a little lion, and thought of Simba? Because Simba, before he became big, before he met Timon and Pumbaa, that he gave me a lot of Simba vibes, honestly. I get it, he's a baby lion, and all baby lions look like Simba, but still, that it felt more like Simba than anything else, than an actual baby lion, but yeah. Then we got Aphelion, which is a game sponsored and I will also assume funded by the European Space Association or European Space Alliance, because for the 50th anniversary of the organization. So which it would be great or super goddamn forgettable. Who knows? Then there's another game called, and this title's a mouthful, There Are No Ghosts at the Grand. There are no ghosts at the Grand, which, yeah, I guess it's interesting. Also the the little mascot on the gun with a Scottish accent is a touch of class, but still, do some fair. This game generally gave me some Power Wash Simulator vibes. But of course, this is not Power Wash Simulator because you're not cleaning. You're actually painting stuff. Well, sort of painting stuff, and then I guess search the occult. But yeah, it gave me a lot of those vibes. Then we got a brand new DLC for Aether Mythology called Heavenly Spear. It's Aether Mythology, so we'll skip. Then we got Mudang Two Hearts, which of all these games right now they showed. To me, at least, is the most interesting one. And before they actually showed a little more context in the trailer, I thought this game was about a second Korean War made by Koreans. which, not gonna lie, that would have been fucking amazing. But I mean, the game still looks amazing anyway. But yeah, imagine a game about a second Korean War made by Koreans. Oh god. And of course, this is also poetic irony that they show this because my mom and my sister have fallen into the K-drama rabbit hole, so it fits. Then we got next up is Planet Lana 2 Children of the Leaf, to which I have absolutely no idea the first game ever existed, so we'll just skip. Then a expansion for Fallout 76 called Gone Fishing, which is basically them adding fishing, so they turned Fallout 76 into JRPG. Oh dear god. Anyway, then we got, speaking of Korean games, Soul Leveling Arise Overdrive, which I mean, it looks cool, but I don't know if you could play offline or it's just if it's only if it's only co-op. I hope it's single player. And they only show this thing being on Xbox consoles, so I I hope this is not an exclusive, but if it is, yeah, whatever. And no, I'm not gonna bother doing a gold subscription again just for that game. I tried, so I did it for my sister, and I wanted to try Forza Motorsport, but then turns out Forza Motorsport was trash, and after my sister was done with playing what she wanted to play, I just canceled it, and I really don't see paying myself like what, $16, $70. Is it? How much is it? How much is it? Just buy one game. So, yeah. Then we got Animo, which in my notes I wrote "Forget all Pal World" because it clearly is a MiHoYo ripoff, but it's a MiHoYo ripoff that looks even more of a Pokemon, even more of a Pokemon copyright infringement than Pal World was. So yeah, and of course, since this is gonna go fly on people's heads, Nintendo's gonna completely ignore it. But still, then we got additional stuff for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, including Mike Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Doom Guy, because of course. Then we got a Fate Send, which is made by the same developers of Spiritfarer, to which I wrote a TGI award guaranteed. Now, I don't know what award are they going to win. I'm going to assume Games for Impact because, again, Spiritfarer. But the problem is, there's a little bit more gameplay in this game than it was in Spiritfarer, so maybe it'll be a bit too much for Games for Impact. I mean, okay, but by saying like this, it means that gameplay needs to be the games to be nominated for Games for Impact need to have bare-bone gameplay. But still, it just feels a little bit too worked to be award itself an award for Games for Impact. But again, I could be wrong, and this thing could actually win it easily, but who knows. Then we got a trailer for Gears of War Reloaded, which I assume is the remaster of Gears of War. And actually, they actually did show that this thing is gonna release on PS5. At the end of the trailer, they showed the PS5 logo. So they did show that this thing is gonna go on PS5. They did it for Solo Leveling Arise, Arise Overdrive, which begged me the question of if this game is going to be an Xbox exclusive. But yeah. And then we finally got to the game that everybody was expecting, and as I said at the beginning of the video, the game that I'm pretty sure everybody was watching this thing to see. The announcement of the Persona 4 remake called Persona 4 Revival, to which I'll be honest, it's kind of a shit title. There's like a fan that made another title they called it Persona 4 Rewind, which fits way better than Revival. But yeah, and now there's a lot to talk about Persona 4 Revival. The fact that it was teased by the voice actor saying we're not gonna be there, which now almost feels like this was a marketing stunt by Atlas. There was like when Yuri Lowenthal, Aaron Fitzgerald, and Amanda Willie, the original voice actors of Yosuke, Chie, and Yukiko, said that they were not going to be in the game. Somebody on Twitter noticed that they announced it in the same way that the characters joined the party, and they went, oh, this gotta be a marketing stunt. To which I sort of dismissed because Erin on the Discord server she was in also went on a bit of ramble to say, yeah, it sucks that I got recasted, but Sega is not the company that I used to know back in 2008, back in 2012, when 2012 being Persona 4 Golden, where the game where she officially took the role of Chie. But now it honestly feels this was all staged, or at least the tweet was staged, but her rambling was a shoot. Basically, everything was a work except for that. But yeah, now the thing of this whole thing was just a teaser. They did not say anything about release dates, no gameplay. They just showed a shot of Inaba and of course use HD model. But yeah, that's basically all they showed. So either they're going to show more at the next conferences, like for example, like next up should be Gamescom in August, and took a game show in like September, October. So there's plenty of time to show more stuff. But I would also assume maybe one of the first things, I mean, if I remember correctly, one of the first things they did for Persona 3 Reload after the trailer, after the teaser was dropped, was to show who were the voice actors. Because let's face it, and we all knew since the beginning that the cast was going to be recast, that the characters were going to be recasted. And honestly, I am probably the character that I'm looking forward to / trend most is you and the guy who's going to replace Johnny Young Bosch. Because I mean, I think I don't know if I said this, but when it was announced that I think it was Olivia Clark was the first one to be announced as the voice actress of Mitsuru. Olivia Clark being the voice actress of Dorothea, Shamir, who also did voice? Beidou in Genshin. Who did also voice Olivia? Basically, and Acheron in Honkai Star Rail. Well, the first question I had is, okay, who's going to be the poor fucker that has to replace Vic Mananya? That's Junpei. And apparently, Tina Robinson nailed it. But Vic Mananya's got nothing on Johnny Young Bosch. So yeah, I feel sorry for the poor bastard that has to replace him. Or the poor bastards in plural who have to replace him, because remember that Johnny Young Bosch also voiced Adachi, and I'm sort of convinced that this time they're actually going to get 2 different voice actors for you and Adachi. I mean, they couldn't, they just have the same voice actor for both you and Adachi, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna get cast 2 different characters, two different actors for you and Adachi. But last thing I will say about Persona 4 Revival, everyone who decides to do, may God bless the souls of everyone. Actually, may God have mercy on all the poor souls that decide to do a playthrough of Persona 4 Revival, because good luck with the comment section once you get to Kanji Naoto. But anyway, then we got a and for the record, I'm not gonna do a playthrough. I won't do a playthrough on Persona 4 Revival, and it's a bit of hypocritical to say, considering that that I'm doing Engage. I just finished the main story, and I'm going through the Fellows Analog. But still, I'm not gonna do Persona 4 Revival once it comes out, or Persona 4 Golden for that matter. But anyway, then we got an expansion for Sea of Thieves, being the Smuggler's Tide, which, whatever. And then we got, possibly, a game that I'm pretty sure nobody was expecting, Invincible Versus, a fighting game about Invincible, to which the only note I wrote is no fatalities. Now, I'm aware that at the very end of the trailer, it was shown people losing both, they shown one of the characters lose their head and arms. But considering this show is notorious for the gore, and of course for the Doom memes that are associated with them, I will say, if this game does not have fatalities, this game is a complete and utter failure to me. But yeah, I mean, considering the game is notorious for the gore, I would expect failures to be a thing, fatalities to be a thing. But if not, then this game is a straight up failure. I mean, come on. Then what we got? Then we got a trailer for the announcement that Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate, which is the main game, plus the Integrate, plus the side story with Yuffie, and Final Fantasy 16 are going to Xbox. To which, little side note, I don't think that's actually going to help 16's sales in any capacity. So yeah, I have a lot more to say about 16, but we've been at this for almost 20 minutes, so there's like 2 games left, so I might as well wrap it up quickly. So next game is Keeper, which is made by Double Fine. So I guess this could be a pretty good game, pretty great game. Oh, then you know what? Screw it. I'll say once we're done. And then, of course, we finish off the thing with the stream with the trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops 7, to which I'll be honest here, before they dropped the title, I thought this was going to be a lot of things. I thought it was Total Recall at first because the character looked like Colin Farrell, who was in the remake of Total Recall. But no, it's Call of Duty, which it makes sense. This should be the period where we should have gotten some kind of news about the new Call of Duty game. So yeah, it makes sense. And also, I know somebody's going to say, but how? The robot looked like fucking Ethan from Infinite Warfare. I mean, yeah, it's true. It did look like Ethan, a white version of Ethan from Infinite Warfare, but I could have just jotted down. I just jotted down as no, it's not the same. It looks very similar, but it's not the same. But yeah. As for the last thing I want to talk about, it's always about Persona 4 Rewind. God damn it. Persona 4 Revival. Yeah, it's gonna be a while before I get used to it. But about mods, since I'm pretty sure about mods. The first mod that I am 100% sure will be made is not nude mods, amazingly enough, but it's going to be Gay Yosuke. And I can be absolutely sure of that because when Persona 4 Golden was released on PC for the first time, the first mod that was put on Game Banana on the game's Game Banana page was the Gay Yosuke mod. Now it's gonna be a lot more harder to make the mod for this game than it was in Persona 4 Golden, because Persona 4 Golden still had the scrapped lines, the scrapped voice lines. It dubbed in English, by the way. Had the scrapped voice lines for in the game files, which made it a lot more easier to make. But still, we're talking about modders, and more often than not, modders are more capable than the actual developers. So who knows? And who knows? Maybe they're actually going to contact if the new voice actor of Yosuke is a big memer. Maybe they're going to get him to actually voice some custom lines, unless they decide to go for a much more cheaper route of using AI. But I don't know. That's I doubt that they will do it because I mean, come on, it's AI, so it's gonna get blasted anyway. Even if it's gonna be like for like a harmless mod, it's gonna get blasted anyway because it's AI. So yeah, especially even worse when if the actor has made public that he does not want his voice to be sampled for AI, like for example like a Limbach, who's the voice actress of Futaba and Celica and a lot of other characters to if you don't know. But yeah, that was basically the Xbox Game Showcase, and I doubt there's gonna be something else more important. I mean, there's the Ubisoft thing, there's Ubisoft show, but I'm gonna skip it. And I doubt, and we just got a State of Play, and I doubt Nintendo's gonna drop the Direct so close to the release of the Switch 2. So yeah. Maybe, or at least if Nintendo's gonna drop, it's gonna drop a Direct in the summer. It's gonna be much more later, not right now, because the Switch 2 just came out. So, yeah. But yeah, there is basically everything on this showcase. So there's nothing else to say other than this was it. See you next time.